My name is Kiran Kumar. I'm the head of creative operations at MPC Film. Today we'll speak about the making of Bhediya. I think during the early days of COVID is when Maddox Films and Amar Kaushik approached us with this idea of Bhediya. We were spoken about this, the human transforming into a wolf. We were smitten by this idea of, the transformation. It's technically challenging, and this is something that we would have loved to get our hands on. So sometime in March, April is when we first started getting the plates turned over. And we were given a brief by Amar Kaushik saying that, this is what I visualize, this is what I want, and this is how Varun is going to transform into a wolf. Yeah, the script, the Bhediya script in relation to VFX is something that any VFX artist would love to work on. It's technically challenging. It speaks of brilliant, emotions. Visualization was amazing. This is something that any VFX artist would love to get his hands on. It took us about 6 months to 1 year from initially, the script brief, and then how we planned, how things had to be executed. We had to build the assets. We had to think about how the plates would be invested, and what is going to be CG, what is going to be from the plate. That took us about 6 months to a year. So first, after we got a brief from Amar, James Austin, the VFX supervisor, and the creative team working out of Bangalore, they did a lot of brainstorming. What kind of wolf does it have to be? Does it have to be Indian? Does it have to be something found in North America? We went back to the real world. We went back to nature. We had a lot of species of wolf, and then Amar and James would pick, this wolf, it has to have fur like this. The nose features have to be like this. We put things together, and slowly the Bhediya started coming to life. Studying the wolf in Bhediya, we had to make it relate to Varun's character because it was a seamless integration that was happening in front of camera. There was nothing happened behind the camera. So we had to make sure that, more or less the facial features had to match because it was a transformation that was happening in front of your eyes. We couldn't cheat on that. We did a lot of research on Google and, decided on the face structure, matched a few species of wolves, and then arrived at a 3D model. And then we finally modified that a little bit to make the actual transformation seamless. And that's how we arrived at the Bhediya. Okay, now let me speak about the actual transformation of Varun into the wolf. So technically it was very challenging because the entire shot happened in front of camera. We didn't use any behind the camera gimmicks. The camera was outside the homestay. It was a slow truck into the homestay, and it is a 360-degree camera move where Varun actually transforms into the wolf.
मेरे को भी दो काटा है, दो.
James Austin, the VFX supervisor, flew in from London. He was with the crew on location in Arunachal Pradesh, getting bitten by the leeches, part of the crew. So we were involved in the making of Bhediya right from the pre-visualization, the early shoot days, which actually converted to really good-looking footage. So speaking about the technical challenges of the transformation specifically, and how long did it take? We actually got the plates turned over in March 2020, and it took us about 15 months till the final shot was delivered out of comp. Once we got the actual blend shape between it, actually the most technically challenging part was it was two separate anatomically different species. One is a human, one is a wolf. So once we got the basic blend shape in place, once we got the basic transformation in place, there was a lot of ideas that were being bounced between Amar and the VFX super and the creative team. We had to add in minute details like the spine, it was cracking. There were parts of the bones that were cracking from under the skin. that added a lot of detail, and it was happening in front of camera, so that added a lot of detail in the actual transformation, which made it look larger than life. So once we did a first pass of the basic transformation, we did a second pass. Varun had really wild expressions of the cheeks were pulled, the eyes were pulling, and then there was a lot of emotional extremes that the body was being pushed to, which had to match with the wolf. So how the changes started in Varun, with his claws coming out, the color of his eyes changing, that is all done in VFX. It was added in layers. There is this part of the shot where he actually digs into the wood board. So that is, we had to match it with a CG nail, to make it look like a scratch on the wooden board. So all that was done in VFX. The climax sequence was shot in beautiful Arunachal Pradesh. The plate was used as a base, and then we built an environment around it. The forest had to look massive, and these two wolves were walking up the cliff. There were a lot of flowers added, there was wind blowing, and the best part was, every foliage was actually interacting with the wolves, the footsteps. There was grass rubbing on the footsteps, and there were actually pug marks and stuff like that. So immediate area was, we used the plate, and the entire environment around it was built in CG.
Cut. Quickly, one more. And action. Cut. Sorry. One more.
So I would like to speak about animals in VFX. I would like to pick about a particular sequence where Varun is, he wakes up on the forest bed with a snake crawling up his boxer pants. It was so challenging that, the snake actually crawls on Varun's chest. We had to match Varun's breathing. The snake had to move up and down to match his chest movement. So the wolf coming out of the fire, the smoke and the water reflection and all, once Amar told us that this is his visualization, we showed him a first pass of how this might end up looking, and then we kept on adding layers, especially when there is a wolf formation in the fire, the embers actually form to be a part of the wolf. We kept on adding layers to make it look like how it came out in the end. So the basic action sequence was shot in the plates, and then we added a lot of fire wherever there was interaction. Like if there is, the wolf running, there had to be dust, there had to be dirt kicked up, and also the interaction with the humans when they're actually fighting with the guards. The climax part where actually the wolves fight with the guards, one of the best sequences in the entire movie, where they're actually shot a couple of stunt actors as the wolves, which had to be prepped out, and then we actually put a CG wolf in to mimic the actions. We had DG doubles reacting with the CG wolves to make it look as realistic as possible, especially when it comes to contact, shadows, occlusion, these kind of things. My personal favorite scene from the entire movie would be the actual transformation. It took us so long to, every day, every department breathed, we were breathing life into the character. Maybe add a little bit of one more bone cracking, a little more fur patch to be revealed, that is just what actually added life to the entire transformation sequence. That's my personal favorite.